Eudaimonia is a concept I first heard about not long ago, and it's a funny word, I think, but one that's full of meaning. If we look at the etymology, it can be translated into English as well being or happiness, but it goes beyond that. Eudaimonia refers to the highest human good, the ultimate end that we all aim to achieve in life. For Aristotle, eudaimonia is not just a fleeting feeling of pleasure or contentment, but a state of being that is achieved through living a life of virtue and fulfilling one's potential as a human being. This idea suggests that we all seek purpose and that for a human being, it's important to contribute to the common good. I wanted to talk about this and try to define what work means to me. Work often feels like this absurd activity that we all do to make money because, well, that's how we survive. But what does work actually do to my brain? What does it make me feel? Let's set aside the money factor for a moment and try to find an answer. For the past 6 months or so, I've been trying to create the job of my dreams by doing this podcast and starting my school community. But what I didn't fully consider was the possibility of it not working out, meaning not making money to pay the bills. And last week I think I hit rock bottom. And since the goal of this podcast is to document both my wins and my setbacks, my losses, which have been the majority, I felt the need to share how I felt last week. I haven't felt like that in a while. Lost, useless, even like a complete failure. And it was a weird combination of feelings and thoughts that were haunting me. And I let my emotions control me. This led to a pretty dark place because I just felt this intense need to quit. But quitting is exactly what I can't do because the odds of hitting it big increase by not quitting over time, no matter how long it takes. The thing is, bills keep coming and I need to survive. My projects aren't yet providing that survival, so there was only one immediate solution: go get a job. And I remember talking to a friend of mine who felt something similar, which I didn't expect. It's normal. We all struggle. But for some reason, I assume people are living the dream and have no problems whatsoever. My friend made me feel better without even trying. I don't think he even noticed. But just by sharing his struggles, by being open about his personal life, he helped me a lot. And it made me understand that nothing is as good or as bad as it seems from the outside. You never really know. So going back to work, I got a job and it's the first time since 2020 that I'm going back to a 9 to 5. Or really more like a 6 to 6. But you get the idea. And I don't know if it's the right move, if it's the better call, or if I'm just surrendering to the pressure of needing to pay the bills and not falling further behind on payments. Tomorrow, Monday, August 12th, 2024, is my official start at this new job. And I've been analyzing how I feel now that I've got an actual job compared to how I felt during the past 6 months when I was trying and betting on myself to make my projects work. Maybe this is what I needed to make it work. Hitting rock bottom, feeling like I was drowning, falling behind on all my bills, and getting a job that at least helps me breathe again. Maybe now I'll learn to be way more efficient with my time since I won't have much of it. I have no idea how I'll make it work, but I have to find a way, even though I felt lost and like I don't have a place in this world. I haven't quit on my podcast. Here I am, Sharing this so my future self can look back and remember all the mistakes I've made along the way and maybe have a laugh or two. But now that I've got a job, I feel relief. Yet at the same time, I feel like I let myself down by not trying harder. That's what hurts. Thinking I left some reps in the tank, feeling like I could have tried harder and maybe made it work by now. But that's something I can't dwell on. It's in the past, and there is no way to change it, only to learn from it and shape the future. I went to training this week and felt fulfilled, which scares me a little because I don't want to get too comfortable and leave my projects aside. I don't want to quit on the things that matter to me, my podcast, my school group, the gym. So I think it's going to be important to start this new chapter with the right mindset and not quit at all. Work my hours and then work on these projects after. It's really that simple. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. So it comes down to how you organize those hours to make the most out of every single one. I don't know how I'll feel next week, but I'm going to find out. Going back to eudaimonia, I think it'll guide me in the right direction to make the most of my capacities, to learn how to work, to make the most of my time, and to achieve the ultimate goal somewhere in the future, living a fulfilling life, contributing to the common good, and having purpose, which drives great things. Work might seem like a repetitive, boring, and absurd activity that we do just to survive and pay bills. But I think if we see work as an essential activity that promotes exercising rationality, that helps us achieve our highest potential, it can be rewarding. I can make work less painful and draining. And yes, at the beginning, it's normal and expected to work on whatever opportunity shows up, whether or not it aligns with our values, just to survive. But over time, we start to define those values and virtues. And then we can look for more specific work that aligns with them. Now that I've gotten a job, I think it's going to push me towards eudaimonia. First, I'll make some money so I'm not struggling as much just to survive. Then it might be the first stepping stone towards a better path. It might set me up for future success instead of feeling like a failure. I want to embrace the decisions that have led me to this moment and keep taking action towards eudaimonia. Man, I love this word. By understanding and applying the concept of eudaimonia, I can approach work not just as a means of survival, but as a central aspect of living a flourishing, purposeful life. The important part of this process I'm about to start is recognizing that for now, work is contributing to the survival part of my life, which is key to then achieving the fulfillment part. I would love to come back later under better conditions with the economic part covered and focus on the values and virtues I want to live by. Even though tomorrow is my first official day, I went to training this week and it was better than I expected. How I felt during training led me to talk about work in this episode because I thought I would feel tired, frustrated, even like a loser. I thought going to work would remind me that my personal projects didn't work and that all the time I spent on them was wasted. But I realized these activities aren't mutually exclusive. I don't have to stop working on my projects just because I got a job. Instead, I'll make them work despite having a regular job. This feels more challenging and gave me a sense of motivation I wasn't expecting. I honestly think getting a job will help me exercise rationality even more to achieve what I want in life. By committing and not quitting on what I'm supposed to do, this job will be temporary. And it will be fulfilling if I decided to be so. Temporary doesn't mean 6 months, 12 months, or even 18 months. It might mean 36 months. Who knows? But I need to say this for my future self again. I won't quit. Yo soy Bruno. And I'll see you in the next one.